Hey everybody, welcome. I believe that I am live right now on Facebook. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Arnold from wellwithdrmichelle.com, and today I would like to talk to you about essential oils. I want to give you some tips and tricks to use for digestive issues and to help losing weight. And a lot of this information that I'm going to be giving you today comes from my book, Ancient Healing for Modern People. And it's this book here. You can find it on lulu.com or amazon.com. And also, I want to talk to you about a sneak preview for an online course that I have on my wellwithdrmichelle.com webpage. And I have several courses, and you can search the course. This course coming up is Heal Your Gut in 10 Days. So some of this information that you're going to be learning today will be included in this course, and just check it out. And if you have any comments or if you need information more about that, you know where to find me here on the Well with Dr. Michelle Facebook page. And before we start, I must give a disclaimer, because this presentation, methods, essential oils, or other products, they have not been evaluated by the FDA. The products and methods recommended are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent illness or disease. So please consult with a licensed health professional to address specific health concerns that you might have. And with that, I would love to add that Chinese medicine, essential oils, natural medicine supports the body's systems and organs. We don't treat the named disease or symptoms, rather we treat your body as a whole, and we treat what we call our pattern imbalances. So that's a whole collection of your signs and symptoms together, and they're categorized into which meridian or organ is out of balance. Chinese medicine is called spleen qi digestion. Your spleen also includes the pancreas in Chinese medicine, but just say spleen for short. And it really is a whole system that includes all of your digestive organs, the small intestine, liver, gallbladder, and even the colon. And this system works together with everything in your body. So as you can see in this circle of 5 elements, if one thing is out of balance, it's sort of a snowball effect, because the wood feeds the fire feeds the earth feeds the metal, and the metal feeds the water. So, these are the kidneys, the liver, the heart, your spleen, pancreas, and your lungs. So what should digestion look like? And you might be thinking, well, I know that, but I've been doing this for over 20 years, and when people become regularly irregular, it's regular for them, and they feel like it's fine. Hey, everything's great. I'm constipated because, but I go every 3 or 4 days, so it's great. But it shouldn't really be like that. We should have a daily complete bowel movement. We should feel alert, clear-headed, pleasant taste in the mouth, normal body weight, good muscle tone. You should be able to work hard, be practical and responsible. You should feel strong, active, stable, and have good endurance. Have a healthy appetite and satisfaction after meals. Symptoms of toxic buildup: constipation, obesity, acne, dark brown patches on your skin, bad breath, ulcers, irritable bowel syndrome, eczema. These are all signs of toxins in your body. Other digestive problems: gas and bloating, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, headache, insomnia, fatigue, or sugar cravings, or craving carbs. And why is digestion so important? It affects your immune system. The colon has more neurons than the brain. And we now know that hormones affect the gut, the mind, emotions, and behavior. So metabolism and digestion extract those vital nutrients that your body needs, and it's important for the health of your bones, muscles, and joints. So tips and tricks that you can use: the balanced diet based on what I call the Spleen Chi diet, essential oils, and other natural things, wellness supplements, herbal remedies such as a cinnamon twig tea that's called gui shi tong in Chinese medicine, a rice water drink, and a detoxifying rice congee. That's a rice porridge. It's a very healing type of food. But today we have time to talk about the first two, but I just wanted to let you know that there is much more that we can use. And then you might be thinking, well, what about a cleanse? Because that's just a really common question that people have, especially if they're going to start any kind of new regime or diet. So a cleanse does cleanse the body of toxic residue. It replenishes your beneficial bacteria in your gut. It helps you establish and avoid toxic triggers and allergens, helps you establish and continue a balanced diet, and develop a healthy relationship with food. It's sort of like the kickstart. So again, why do it? To remove accumulated buildup of residues from overeating foods that are too high in fats, proteins, and sugars, supports your body's organs that are naturally responsible to release toxic buildup. These would be your colon, your liver, kidneys, lung, and skin. You want to eat foods that are a balance between building and cleansing foods. So think of your leafy greens as there is some building quality, but they are more cleansing, and then your grains and your meats and your proteins are very building. So clear out toxic negative thinking. That is another thing about a cleanse, that it can help you do that. Because we not only digest food, but we digest our thoughts. And if you've ever heard somebody say, let me chew on that idea, let me chew on that a while. And sometimes we keep chewing and we just can never swallow it. So that's part of, doing a cleanse. How can essential oils help? Well, essential oils can help release emotional and spiritual blockages. They have a powerful ability to support the digestive system. They can aid our metabolism and digestion. You can add them to food for flavoring and to help minimize the need for additives and salt. You can use them during massage, use them for acupressure, specific points on the feet or area of concern. So let's start off by reminding ourselves, aromatherapy. It's about smelling the oils, really, number one, because the smell, the aroma, that there's lots of molecules from that are just wafting in the air that enter your nose, up your nostrils, and get trapped by the cilia, go up into the olfactory bulb behind your nose, where now all of those chemicals, the messages get sent to your brain and to the limbic system. The limbic system is responsible for our emotions, our memories. A smell can trigger an event so quickly, and it could be a good or bad event. So an aroma could be good or bad. It can trigger either way. So that's the first thing, and just an example, you can use peppermint. Let's say if you're trying to curb your cravings and you like to snack a lot, just put some peppermint in a diffuser or maybe in your hand and smell it. It'll waken up your nose, it'll open up your eyes, it'll just kind of help you focus, but it also is good for digestion, and it may help curb the appetite. And another two oils that I like are cinnamon and cassia together, and now they're both very hot, so you don't need very much in your diffuser, but you can put them on your wrist, heavily diluted, but they're very sweet, so they can help curb the sweet tooth. Putting those two in a drink or in tea also, and I love doing that. I think they taste wonderful, but you can use a clean toothpick and just put it in your bottle of essential oil and then put however much you need, because a drop of cinnamon and cassia may be way too much. It would just, you wouldn't even be able to drink it, I don't think. So you can try that, or you can try putting a drop on a spoon and then trying to just get like half or so of that into your drink, because sometimes you feel like you need a half a drop. But how do you get a half a drop unless you have a specific type of squeegee thing that you can suck up the oil? And those are available, but that's just an easy thing that you can do. So drinking water, you can use citrus oils, and lemon is probably one of the most famously known oils for doing that because it does help cleanse the blood. So cleansing the blood means it keeps it from being sticky and it's moving more, freely. It helps increase your glutathione levels, your vitamin in your body, and antioxidant levels. So drinking water in the first thing in the morning is very important. So even if you don't put lemon or any other citrus oil like grapefruit or lime or orange, make sure that you're drinking water the first thing because you need to be hydrated. If you've been asleep all night, just drink the nice glass of water in the morning, every morning, and you can certainly add the oils. You can add these oils to iced tea or hot tea. You can apply an immune builder of oils to your soles of your feet before bed. You can apply a liver cleanse oil that would go below your right rib cage, because this is where your liver is, your lungs, and the sole of your right foot is a reflex point for the liver. You can use oils to support your DNA applied to your spine and your feet. And as far as what oils are involved with, immune builder and liver cleanse, we can get into those, but just to let you know that these are ways that you can use oils. First, you can use oils, but make sure that your diet doesn't feed the fungi and yeast. So starve them out by eliminating sugar. Apply the oils topically that have been shown to support the terrain, and that is your body, right? So don't make your body a host for these types of things. So eliminating sugar, and then certain oils, can help you, like thyme, oregano, tea tree oil, lemon, coriander, cinnamon. And take a probiotic or eat probiotic rich foods such as organic, raw, unpasteurized, sauerkraut, olives, pickles, kefir. Those are probiotic rich foods, and they also are good appetizers. And those should be the appetizers, are your probiotic rich foods, and they also stimulate the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. So those are the types of foods you want for appetizers, not fried foods, not greasy foods, and not drumsticks and taquitos. Those are just mini meals before you actually have the big meal. So just, using the appetizers, I guess you could say old-fashioned appetizers are what we used to eat, that used to be put out like if you went to a party, but now it's chips and dip and wontons and all those other things. So let's just kind of go back to what we used to eat, and I remember these things, as a kid. And you could put the olives on your fingers and have fun with them. Healthy blood sugar. Help maintain healthy blood sugar by using oils such as cinnamon, oregano, basil, coriander, and grapefruit. And from doTERRA, they have a blend called Slim and Sassy, and it does contain these oils, and it tastes good. So you can put either that blend or any one or two of these oils if you were making a drink in the morning, like a smoothie or your vegetable drink. You can certainly add these oils to that. And again, apply along the lower left rib cage, because this is where your pancreas is, on the left side, okay, your lower rib cage, and then the left foot. And I mentioned here spleen 4, that's just the name of an acupuncture point that you'll find along the instep, the arch of your foot, on the medial side of your foot. And the name of it is called the Prince's Grandson. So, but you don't have to worry about the exact spot. If you just run your hand with your oil just right along the whole part of that part of your foot, you're going to just hit that spot and hold for a few minutes to let the heat of your fingers just drive the essential oil into that spot, and also the energy. You can also take this, one of these oils or the Slim and Sassy in an empty veggie capsule. You can take it with each meal, and that'll help you digest your food and metabolize your food better. And talking about oregano and cinnamon, for those particular oils, you do want to put those in a capsule. You never want to just put them under your tongue or in your mouth or in water, because they're very hot oils and they will burn your mouth and tongue. And of course, I mentioned doTERRA, Slim and Sassy, and I love doTERRA. Those are the oils that I use because that's what I know, like, and trust. So you do not have to use the same brand of essential oils, that I'm talking about. You can use whatever you have, whatever you like, but as long as they are pure, oils, unadulterated. But if you have questions for me about certain blends of different brands, I'm not going to know them. I won't be able to help you out as much, but it's fine for you to use whatever you have. I'm not going to, but I just like, doTERRA. So to maintain healthy weight in adipose tissue, well, essential oils can help you naturally release that buildup of toxic residue that gets stored in fat tissue. And again, it's that same metabolic blend, that Slim and Sassy, or these oils: cinnamon, grapefruit, rosemary, peppermint, bergamot, wild orange, and lemon. And rubbing them along your belly, putting a drop in the belly button, like just let it drop in the belly button and hold just for 30 seconds to a minute until you feel kind of an energetic change. Also, again, smelling, just making sure before you apply the oils that you do smell them, and that you can put them on your wrist creases and your feet. And then if they're on your wrist, it's kind of nice because you can always smell them really quickly. And if you didn't realize, the radial artery is on your wrist creases, and that's why we put perfume on our wrists and also behind the ears, just places where they're more easily absorbed because of the arteries. So essential oils support digestion for things like flatulence, indigestion, acid reflux and heartburn, hemorrhoids. One of my favorite blends is called Digest Zen. It is a digestive blend, and it is one that you don't want to leave home without if you're traveling. Maybe you'll, get Montezuma's revenge, and I'm just going to say it could really help you out in that instance. Or any kind of stomach upset, rubbing it on the belly, on the feet, a few drops in water, 2 to 4 drops. It can work magic, and maybe you'll need to do another, maybe a half hour or an hour later, but you shouldn't have to do more, because if you have to continue, then you know that something else is going on. But other oils, and those that you might find in this blend, are ginger, peppermint, wild orange. And as I said, apply them across the abdomen, in the belly button, in water. And these are also great to put in a green smoothie, your vegetable smoothie, and it also gives more of a warming energy to these drinks, because we really shouldn't be drinking too many cold, damp things. So we need the spicy, warm. Our food should be mostly cooked. So if we're doing lots of our greens, but they're always cold, so you might have been wondering, well, for the first few months of doing this new diet, or even this cleanse, it seemed really great and I felt lighter and everything was going well, and then now all of my symptoms are either coming back, or I'm just having different symptoms, or I actually am having more yeast. It's the cold energy, the cold food is just not good for your body. It's harder to digest. But using spices is key to adding in that energy for a cold food. So if you like your greens, because you don't eat them otherwise, but you can get them in a smoothie, add ginger, all right? Add lime, and it tastes really good. It does add a nice flavor to that. So as far as Chinese medicine, and just the overall basic diet for most people, this is what most people do well on. It's mostly plant-based. I like to think 80% plant to 20% maybe meats, and some people say even less. Some people are vegan, some people are vegetarian, but I think that we're healthier if we eat vegetarian-like at least. So going, more towards fruits, and vegetables, mostly the green leafy vegetables, again, mostly cooked. Small amounts of lean meats, poultry, and fish. How much do we need? 6 ounces. We don't need those things every single day, but everybody is different. It depends on, whether you're pregnant, lactating mother, elderly, somebody who is athletic, they tend to need more of those things. So, again, in Chinese medicine, there isn't a just, one all be all. We can't fit everybody into one particular box, and I know that sometimes that seems the easiest, black and white, here, this is it, but think of your diet and think of yourself on a continuum here, a dynamic pole where, we want to, sometimes when we're over here, we want to bring ourselves back to the center. Like if we're running too hot, then we start to eat cooler foods until we are balanced, and then you change gradually to a more balanced diet and not eating overly cool food. But again, everything is seasonal. So it's going to be warmer, it's warming up, we're going to naturally start eating more fruits, we're going to, naturally cooler foods and more, colder drinks. So, but it goes with the season. But you still shouldn't be just overwhelmingly cold. Beans, legumes, and lentils, and there are different beans, and I do list a whole bunch of beans in my book, like from easiest to digest to the hardest to digest. So beans are super healthy, but everybody again is different. Some people can digest certain ones and not others. Lentils tend to be the easiest of all to digest for most people, and they're very high in protein. So I have a different view on food groups, because not everybody can do dairy, not everybody likes cheese, or and not everybody eats meat. So I don't like to say meat and dairy as food groups, because I do believe we should have a balance of all of our food groups. But let's just say protein, because you can get protein from your plants, and you don't have to think that you have to get it from dairy. Small amounts of unprocessed whole grains. Now, whole grains can be really healthy, but bread isn't a food group. Bread isn't, but you can find whole grain breads, and when you're reading the labels, the least amount of ingredients on the packaging is the best. Sourdough also tends to have the least amount of ingredients if you check. So those tend to be the healthiest, whole grains and maybe sourdough. Eat seasonally and pulsing foods out. That means that you don't eat the same thing over and over all the time, or sometimes it's what I call dose dependent, where some people might find that they can eat beans, let's say, no problem, but if they start to have a meal with beans every single day, they start to feel too gassy. But if they do it every 2 or 3 days, do you see what I'm saying? And then some people, it's they can do a little tiny bit of dairy, but only once a week, and then they're totally fine. They don't have any symptoms. So that's where a food journal comes into play if you haven't really paid attention, or if you're really trying to just cut out the toxic triggers for yourself. Then use a daily planner or a journal or your phone or whatever works for you, and just feel, how do you feel mentally too? Don't exclude that. Were you foggy-headed when you ate that? And when did it occur? Was it immediate, or was it, an hour, or so later? And feeling really too full and bloated isn't good. It's not comfortable, and that might be a sign that maybe that food isn't sitting well with you. Sometimes you just need to cut back. Foods you often need to pulse out then, because they become addictive. They become our crutch, or of course alcohol, the grains, and the breads, the bagels, and the sweets. So pulsing them out does help you release yourself from dependency. So eating them every so often, you'll start to lose that dependency. And that same thing goes with the flavor, like salty and sweet. So if you have a sweet tooth, the hardest thing initially is avoiding it or cutting it out. But as you cut it out, over time it will become less of a problem until you start to eat it more and more again. So the best thing is just to not have it if that's your problem, and trying to switch to other things that are sweet but not sugary. So someone had asked me today, what do I do about dessert? So chocolate, dark chocolate can be healthy, but it's also size dependent. So after a meal, if you eat a tiny square of dark chocolate, it can help digestion. It's, it does have magnesium in it, so that you shouldn't feel too guilty. But if you're eating more, then it becomes not healthy. And that's the same with alcohol, where, red wine has been shown to be healthy if you have 1 or 2 glasses, depending on your weight, depending on your gender. But as you go over the 3 or 4 glasses, it starts to become unhealthy, where by 7 it's definitely not healthy. So just keep those things in mind. So foods for weight loss: vegetable juice. We already, we talked about that. And people like to do fruit juices, but again, that's a lot of sugar. But the fruits, if you're going to add fruit to your vegetable juices, kiwi is great. Of course, the berries, your strawberries, blackberries, blueberries. Add those things to your vegetable juice to give it some flavor. Ginger tea. So ginger is spicy warm, and it's good for the stomach. It's good for nausea. Green tea has about 50% of the amount of caffeine as coffee, and it's also released slower throughout the day as opposed to one big jolt. So it's a good switch for a coffee lover. So you can gradually switch from your coffee to your green tea if you're trying to get off of caffeine, or if you just have to have your coffee, maybe choose a day to have it be your coffee day. Because I don't believe that we have to deprive ourselves necessarily. We can always, switch out, and as long as we're not doing too much. So I like to say 3 to 1. So like 3 good, maybe 1 bad, to just kind of help, because that's like alkalizing foods to acidic foods as well. So 3 alkalizing to 1 acidic. So if grains and meat are acidic, they're building but acidic, you need then the portion control of like 3 of your cleansing greens and vegetables. So that makes sense there. Apple cider vinegar is another that is great to help for weight loss. It's good in the morning, like a kind of like the lemon. You can do it with lemon too. You can take a tablespoon of your apple cider vinegar, some warm water, and have a drop of the lemon. Honey and cinnamon in the morning. A tablespoon of honey and a teaspoon of cinnamon, and if you mix that with the vinegar, you have apple pie. It really tastes like apple pie. Fresh papaya. So it has to be the fruit, it has to be fresh. Eating this can help with bloating, swollen legs, and joints. So again, I do have the Heal Your Gut in 10 Days, and it is a detox regime using some of the things that I talked about today, along with the rice congee and different essential oil protocols. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Arnold, and stay well and stay healthy. Thank you.